How old are you? How long have you been living with diabetes? And most importantly, are you managing your blood sugar properly? If you're like most people with diabetes, you've probably heard of the glycemic index, GI, and believe it's the key to choosing healthy foods. But what if I told you that the GI might be misleading you? Many people rely on this index to decide what to eat without realizing that it can lead to serious mistakes, causing their blood sugar to spike out of control. So, what is the truth about the glycemic index? Does it really help you control diabetes? Or is it just a number that gives you a false sense of security? Let's find out. 1. Does the glycemic index really help manage diabetes? Or is it a trap? What is the glycemic index? The GI measures how much a particular food raises blood sugar compared to pure glucose. For example, if pure glucose has a GI of 100, a food with a GI of 50 will raise blood sugar half as much as glucose. Foods with a low GI, below 55, are often considered good for diabetics because they supposedly cause slower blood sugar increases. But is it really that simple? Why the glycemic index can be misleading? GI doesn't reflect the actual amount you eat. A low GI food doesn't mean it won't spike your blood sugar if you eat too much. For example, watermelon has a high GI, but because it contains very few carbohydrates per serving, its actual impact on blood sugar is small. On the other hand, a low GI food like whole wheat bread can still cause blood sugar spikes if consumed in large amounts. GI doesn't account for individual responses. Everyone digests and responds to insulin differently. A food with a low GI may still cause a rapid blood sugar increase due to variations in how your body processes carbohydrates. Low GI labeled foods aren't always safe. Many processed foods advertise themselves as low GI, yet they still contain high amounts of hidden sugars or starches. For example, some low GI breads still cause significant blood sugar spikes because their total carbohydrate content is too high. What should diabetics do instead? Rather than relying on the glycemic index, use a blood glucose meter to test how your body reacts to different foods. According to Dr. Richard Bernstein, a diabetes expert, the best way to manage the condition is to monitor your blood sugar after each meal and adjust your diet based on your personal response. Have you ever tested your blood sugar after eating a low GI food? If not, try it today. You might be surprised by the results. 2. The glycemic index mistake. Don't be fooled. The glycemic index, GI, is often promoted as a helpful tool for diabetics when choosing their foods. However, many experts warn that GI can be highly misleading, causing poor blood sugar control without people even realizing it. GI doesn't reflect reality. Many foods labeled as low GI can still cause significant blood sugar spikes. For example, Ezekiel bread, a whole grain bread known for its low GI, has been shown to raise blood sugar levels rapidly after consumption. Dr. Richard Bernstein, one of the leading diabetes experts, insists that the best way to control diabetes isn't by relying on GI, but by measuring actual blood sugar levels after eating. He has maintained a stable blood sugar level of 85 milligrams per deciliter for decades using this method. GI doesn't consider how much you eat. A low GI food isn't safe if you eat too much of it. For example, brown rice has a lower GI than white rice. But if you eat a large bowl of brown rice, the total carbohydrate intake will still cause a significant blood sugar spike. This is why glycemic load, GL, is considered a more accurate measure than GI. It accounts for both the type of carbohydrate and the amount consumed. GI doesn't consider individual responses. People respond differently to the same food. Some digest slowly, leading to smaller blood sugar increases, while others experience spikes even with the same portion size. Dr. Jason Fung, an expert in diabetes and intermittent fasting, emphasizes, the only way to truly understand how food affects you is to test your blood sugar after eating it. Key takeaway: rather than relying on GI, track your actual blood sugar levels with a personal glucose meter. Every body is different, and only you can determine which foods are truly safe for your diabetes management. 3. How to effectively control blood sugar, a lesson from a real event in the US. Did you know that in 2019, A study conducted by Stanford University Medical Center in California found that over 60% of type 2 diabetes patients failed to achieve stable blood sugar control, even though they followed a low GI diet. This proves that the glycemic index, GI, is not the sole factor in maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. So, what is the most effective way to manage diabetes? Forget GI, test your blood sugar instead. Instead of blindly trusting low GI labels, use a personal glucose meter to check how your body actually reacts after eating. A concrete example: in the Stanford study, a group of patients consumed whole wheat bread, GI approximately 53, but their blood sugar levels still spiked to an average of 180 mg per deciliter after eating, far exceeding the recommended post-meal target of below 140 mg per deciliter. Meanwhile, another group that ate a meal rich in protein and vegetables only saw a modest increase to 120 mg per deciliter. Lesson learned: not all low GI foods are safe. Always check your blood sugar 1 to 2 hours after eating to determine what truly works for your body. Dr. Richard Bernstein's small numbers rule. Dr. Richard Bernstein, who has lived with type 1 diabetes for over 70 years and maintains an ideal blood sugar level of 85 mg per deciliter, has proven that the small numbers principle is the key to diabetes control. Minimize carbohydrate intake. According to Bernstein, consuming less than 30 grams of carbs per day results in fewer blood sugar fluctuations, reduced insulin dependence, and lower risk of complications. Keep insulin levels low, whether it's injected insulin or naturally produced by the body. Excess insulin promotes fat accumulation, worsens insulin resistance, and makes diabetes harder to manage. Reducing carb intake naturally lowers insulin demand, protecting against complications. Maintain stable blood sugar. Patients following Bernstein's low-carb diet typically achieve HbA1c levels below 5.0%, nearly the same as non-diabetics. Choosing ultra-low GI foods. Instead of choosing foods just based on low GI labels, prioritize foods that truly have minimal impact on blood sugar. Fiber-rich green vegetables, spinach, broccoli, lettuce, and asparagus slow down sugar absorption. Protein and healthy fat sources, eggs, salmon, chicken breast, avocados, and olive oil provide energy without causing blood sugar spikes. Eliminate processed foods. Many low GI products like whole wheat bread and so-called healthy cereals can still significantly raise blood sugar levels. The Stanford study is clear proof that diabetes control cannot rely solely on GI. If you truly want stable blood sugar and to avoid complications, focus on personalized glucose monitoring, a well-structured low-carb diet, choosing foods that actually support your health. Have you ever tested your blood sugar after eating a low GI food? Try it today. You may be surprised by the results. 4. Final advice: compare the risks and benefits using real numbers. You have the power to decide your diet, but your choices will determine whether you live a healthy life or face serious complications. Here's a clear comparison between tight blood sugar control and poor management. Based on real data, the risks of poor blood sugar control. High risk of complications. A study by the CDC found that 85% of diabetes patients with HbA1c above 7.0% developed complications within 10 years. The most common complications include heart disease, 77%, kidney failure, 44%, vision loss, 31%, significantly shorter lifespan. According to the American Diabetes Association, ADA, people with HbA1c above 8.0% have a 30% higher risk of early death compared to those maintaining HbA1c below 6.5%. Higher medical expenses. Poorly controlled diabetes costs an average of $16.750 per year in medical expenses, 2.3 times higher than for people without diabetes. The benefits of tight blood sugar control. Lower risk of complications. People maintaining HbA1c below 5.7% have almost zero risk of diabetes-related complications. A study from the Joslin Diabetes Center, Boston, found that patients who kept their blood sugar between 85 to 95 mg per deciliter for 20 years had no decline in kidney function. Longer lifespan. A Harvard University analysis found that well-controlled diabetes patients can extend their lifespan by 10 to 15 years, significantly reducing the risk of stroke and cardiovascular disease. Lower medical costs. Maintaining ideal HbA1c levels can cut treatment costs by up to 60%, saving tens of thousands of dollars annually. What will you choose? No one but you will face the consequences of poor blood sugar control. Check your blood sugar after every meal. Track your results. Adjust your diet accordingly. Today, you can choose a healthy future or a life full of complications. The decision is yours. Take control of your health. I know that managing diabetes isn't easy. Every day, you have to make countless choices: what to eat, what to drink, how to monitor your blood sugar. Sometimes, you might feel frustrated by dietary restrictions or confused by conflicting information. But remember, you're not alone in this journey. Your body deserves the best care. Don't let numbers like GI mislead you. Trust the real data from your own body. A single good decision today can help you live a healthier life and enjoy precious moments with your loved ones. Have you tested your blood sugar after eating? If not, try it today. See how your body reacts and make small adjustments. Every small step you take today will build a stronger, healthier future. I believe you can do this, and you'll never regret putting your health first.